Okay, let's talk about the use of customer or user personas. The difference is that a user is somebody that uses the product or service, and a customer is somebody that's paying for it. Often a customer is also a user, but take the example of a project management tool in a large company. The company is the customer of that tool, but the users are the staff that are using it. As we want to consider the persona of those using the product or service, I'll refer to user personas rather than customer personas for these videos. Here are some key reasons why product owners find user personas valuable. I'm going to fire through these quickly, but you can always pause the video if you want to read the text. I go into a lot more depth on all the concepts in this video in my PSPO2 course on Udemy and learnmanagementonline.com. You'll find links in the description of this video. After we've looked at why we use user personas, we're then going to have a look at how to create user personas. Okay, let's go through the list of why we might want to use them. Starting with customer-centric design, targeted product development, improved communication, alignment with business goals, reduced subjectivity. You'll find user personas are used quite a lot when it comes to user interface and user experience development. User personas are also used a lot when it comes to marketing and positioning. Risk mitigation, continuous improvement, or as we say, inspection and adaptation. And finally, although this isn't an exhaustive list, customer satisfaction and loyalty. So that's quite a long list of why personas can be really useful, but as I say, it's not an exhaustive list. There will be other reasons why you should use them, so it's definitely something to think about, particularly when it comes to identifying what features and functionality target users might want. So now that we've had a look at why we might want to use personas, let's have a look at how we might want to create them. Step 1. Define your goals. Clearly outline the goals that you want to achieve with your personas. Are you developing a new product, refining marketing strategies, or improving user experience? Knowing your objectives will guide the persona creation process. So in our case, of course, we'll need them because we're creating a new product. Step 2, gather the relevant data. You want to collect relevant data about your audience. So this can include demographic information such as age, gender, location, income, job title and industry, interests and hobbies, challenges and pain points, goals and aspirations, behaviors and preferences. Step 3 is also part of the information gathering stage. You'll want to conduct interviews and surveys and check your analytics. And when you do this, ask open-ended questions to gather qualitative data. You'll also want to refer to any demographic and behavior analytics you've already managed to get on your users. For example, look at Google Analytics, which provides loads of information on website users, or mobile app stores also provide these kinds of analytics. Step 4 is to analyze the data that you've gathered. Now, what you want to do is identify patterns and trends in the data that you've collected. This analysis will help you to group similar characteristics and behaviors together to form distinct personas. Step 5 is to create persona profiles. So for each persona group that you've just created, you might want to create a persona for that group that includes a name and an image to help make this persona come alive, and by giving them a name really humanizes them. You want to add in that demographics information such as the age, gender, location, maybe job title, their income level, and any other demographics that's appropriate to what you need for your product. The background, their education, their work experience, any other relevant details, maybe what they do for hobbies, things like that, what they do in their free time. Their goals, what is your persona trying to achieve with your product or service, and how can it help them? Challenges, so what obstacles and pain points do they face in their life, and how is your product going to solve some of those pain points? Behaviors, so how are they going to use your product? What features are most important to them? And you might want to add quotes. So use actual quotes from the interviews that you've done with people to add a personal, humanizing touch to your personas. With these different personas, you might want to group them into different archetypes. Common archetypes include, I won't explore all the different archetypes here, but there is a downloadable resource that I've created with this lecture if you want to read more about different types of archetypes. Step 7 is to prioritize those personas. Not all the personas are going to be equal to you. Prioritize them based on your business goals and the goals for the product. Identify primary, secondary, and possibly tertiary personas to focus your efforts effectively on the correct user persona. Okay, that's a whole bunch of steps. Now you might want to do all of those steps, or you might just want to choose the ones that are relevant for you. But the next thing you absolutely have to do is share and implement them. Make sure they're visible and transparent and understandable to everybody in the Scrum team and all your stakeholders and anybody else that needs them. You'll particularly want to consider them when you create your user stories. And of course, backlog refinement when it comes to prioritizing the product backlog items. And because we're Scrum and we inspect and adapt, we'll want to inspect and adapt, or test and refine is another way of saying it. You can iterate your product development based on your decisions on personas, but you also want to iterate your personas as well. So remember to keep looking at your analytics, maybe keep getting feedback from users and keep doing those interviews to further enhance, improve, and update your user personas to make sure that they stay accurate and valuable through the development process. Creating user personas is an ongoing process that involves collaboration and commitment to understanding your audience. If you'd like to learn more from me, Michael James, and get your Scrum qualifications, you can find me on Udemy as a multiple bestseller, or go to learnmanagementonline.com, where you can get all the same courses for a discount. See the links in the description below this video.